Nice little sunset. Okay.
Now, just another quick thought for non-English speakers. If you want to improve your English, I highly suggest that you start forcing yourself to think in English. Like, for me, I used to think that I was good at English, but when it came to having a conversation or speaking in English, I would freeze. I would not be able to, like, tell a basic sentence. And that was because I understood English, because I was watching videos, watching movies, listening to English, reading stuff in English. But if you're not thinking in English, then if you come into a conversation, your thoughts will appear in your native language, whatever that is, and you will have to translate them in real time, and that takes effort, that takes time, and that is essentially why you are unable to say even a basic sentence when speaking to someone in person. And so I really highly suggest that you start like forcing yourself to think in English. For example, when you are, I don't know, just randomly, like even now as you're watching this video, like if a thought pops up into your mind and you notice it, try to think it again, but in English. Or what I like to do is, or what I do now, like as a habit, is that whenever I write something down, it's 99% it's in English. Like literally, if I write something down on my notepad and it's not like school related, it's in 90% it's in English. I don't know, I just got used to it. And now whenever I'm writing something on a piece of paper, it's 90% it's English. And if it's not English, I sometimes like to mix things. When I cannot come up with the English word, I smack in the Slovak word. And that's not good, but I'm telling you, you have to, if you want to improve your English skills, you have to start forcing yourself to think in English. And then first you will have to force yourself, and then it will kind of come naturally. Or if you want maybe not easier, but if you really want to force yourself to learn English, just go to a foreign speaking country, or to a best would be the country where they are speaking English. So United Kingdom, USA. But if you don't have that option, then I would strongly suggest that you start forcing yourself to think in English. And so yeah, that was just my little thought of the mind. Now, I directed this towards English, but this can be applied to any language that you want. Now, yet another completely unrelated tip is that try to look at your day, at your normal, casual day, or not look back, but for example, tomorrow, try to pay like really close attention to what you're doing, like throughout the day, and try to spot some pieces of like some time slots where you're not being really like efficient, like we're not really doing anything that is beneficial to whatever you're trying to achieve. So, for example, it could be traveling to work for 1 hour, and during that trip you are either going by a car and you are driving, or you are going by a train and you are just, I don't know, sitting there or listening to music or whatever, or you are, I don't know, just these two examples. Let's take these two examples. And if you're traveling by a train or by a bus, that 1 hour that you're listening to music, I bet that it can be used much better. You can be on the train, what I like to do is just to talk to random people, because I take it as a social skills practice and it's perfect for that. Second reason is that you never know who you meet. Like, I met amazing people just by talking to a train. Like, with some I'm still like in contact, let's say, or I have the contact information, not like regularly meeting, but I'm still in contact with a handful of people. And third, like, what's a better thing to do on the train? Like, you can work if there is stable Wi-Fi, which in Slovakia there is not really. Like, there is some, but I don't know. So you can work, or you can what, listen to music, or just stare into nothingness, like that. Hour one, like that, it's hour there, hour back. Those 2 hours, you could do so much, man, during those 2 hours, and you're just not. Or for example, now as I'm eating, I used to just think. Like, I would just eat and think about random bullshit. And now I'm at least like recording videos. I'm thinking about random bullshit, but I'm sharing it with you. And so what I was doing before this, before I was just thinking random stuff, I was trying to make meditation out of it. So basically, I was trying to make myself focus on the eating. Like, as you do meditation, you are usually focusing on the breath, and when some thought comes to your mind, your task is to always notice the thought as soon as you can, preferably, and then notice what happened, realize what happened, and deliberately bring your attention back to that initial breath, which is called also the anchor, because it anchors you in the present moment. It's something that you can always come back to. And so I tried to like recreate that during eating, and I was trying to make the anchor, instead of the breath, I tried to make the anchor the sensations of eating, and that didn't work out really well. I always had it in mind. I always tried to do it, but it just felt like I was always just distracted as fuck. I would say it like that. So I tried, but my willpower was probably not strong enough. And so this is actually probably even better solution. Or for example, I myself am traveling now to school, not to work. But what I do, I live about a kilometer from the train station, and instead of just like walking or something, I run, because it's faster, it's cardio, and yeah, it's faster and it's cardio. I mean, so I would rather, like, it doesn't cost anything, and you are as fast as you would be on a bike probably, and you are thinking about less random bullshit because you are running. You are usually thinking, but if it becomes a habit, you are thinking about random bullshit, but that's on another video. But as I said, it's faster and you have free cardio. So like, the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is the discomfort. Of course, if it's summer, then it doesn't really make sense because you will be sweaty as hell all the time. But during the winter, it even heats you up, so I don't see any reason for not doing it. So I do it from home to station, and I also, when I'm at the city that I go to school at, I also run from that station to the school because it's a similar distance. So instead of walking for 15 minutes, I run it in like 7 minutes. So yeah, that was just another random thought. Even the sweating issue, I mean, if you really wanted to, you can solve it easily. You can just take a spare t-shirt, or if you have the opportunity to take a shower, just take a shower. Yes, that's going to take you more time to take the shower, so it's going to ultimately take probably more than if you were to not run, but it's still cardio. you have to just, if it makes sense for you, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. Now, when I'm working and when it's possible, I set like 30-minute timers, and each 30 minutes I do some form of an exercise or a stretch. This is because I'm trying to I'm aware of the fact that I sit behind the desk for a lot, for most of the day, and so I saw a video from a guy named Jeff Cavalier. His YouTube channel, I would highly recommend that you check it out, athlinx.com or athlinx at the ATHLEANX is his YouTube channel, and if you don't know him already, of course. And I saw one video from him, and this was the exact thing that he mentioned, basically that we sit behind a desk most of the day, and if we just did every 30 minutes like a few minutes of exercise, we could basically not diminish, but we are able to suppress the negative effects of prolonged sitting. If you sit just 30 minutes and then you do some form of an exercise, some stretch, or I like to do it's called the GBS. So it's G is for grab, B is bridge, and C is sit, and S is for sit. And I expanded it a bit. But basically what it means is grab, what you do is you set a timer for 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes you stand up and you do, first you do sit, then you do grab, or then first you do grab, then you do G grab, B bridge, and S sit. So grab is basically that you grab your butt and you stretch into the back like this for 20 seconds. Then after 20 seconds you do the same, but instead of doing it relaxed, you contract your glutes and you try to push yourself to the back, and you do that for 30 seconds. So that's the grab part. Bridge is normal, you lay down on the floor and you do a bridge, and then you do reach, you reach over onto one side to the other side like this, and you do that for 30 reps or so. And sit is, let me not show it. So you find a wall, this is not a wall, but you find a wall, I'm not gonna do that here. Where did I do it? Here. So you find a wall, you press your back against it, and you do this for I don't know how much you want, 30 reps. And ideally you do this as slow as you can so that your quads start to burn. And so that's the sit. And you rotate it each and every 30 minutes interval. So after first 30 minutes you do the grab, then after the second 30 minutes you do the bridge, and then after the third you do the sit, and then you go back from the start again. As I said, over time you can even add some of your custom exercises. For example, I don't want to do just GBS. I do GKS, BES, which stands for G is grab, K is kick. So that's Hey, Martin from the future here. And so as I was editing this video, I noticed that my demonstration of the kick wasn't very visible, so let me demonstrate it again. So Basically, what I do as the second from the sequence of the GKSBES is kick. So what I do is that I put some pillow on my desk, I raise my my foot, sorry, and I put it on the table. I position myself like this. I put my hands into a guard and I raise the foot and I do a kick to the side and I come back. Ideally, I want this is the easy version, that after each kick you put the leg back on the table. There are like three versions that I discovered. The easy version is that you keep the leg all on the table all the time. The intermediate version is that you raise the leg, you do the kick to the side, you come back and you put it back on the table. And the hard version is that you raise it up, you do the kick, you come back and you don't put it back on the table, you keep it above and you do another kick and another, and you do that for as many reps as you can. Like I can do max like 5, and then I usually put it back on the table. And I do this for 10 reps for each leg. So when I'm done 10 reps with this left leg, I switch legs and I do the same thing for this leg. So I put my hands to guard, raise, kick, back, and I do that for 10 reps. That's K, GK, S. S another is shoulder. So what I do as the third thing is I have weights in my room, and I take them and I do lateral raises. So that's shoulders, GKS. B is bridge. Then E stands for extension. So what I do there is I will have to go into the room, but basically let's pretend this is me. This is the upper part of my body, this is the lower part. Let's say this is the bed. This is my bed, and I lay on the bed. Let's say these are my hips, and so I lay on the bed. These are my legs. This is my upper body, and what I do is I lower my legs, and then I try to lift them using my lower back. So basically, I go like this, and I lift my back, then I let it down, and I lift it again, and I do that for about 30 reps. So that's E. And finally S is the sit, as I showed right there.